Hi students, today we will see the chemical properties in that reactions due to CO bond cleavage or dissociation. CO bond cleavage or dissociation. Here in these reactions, alcohol, actually it is not alcohol, complete alcohol, it is a protonated alcohol. We can take protonated alcohol. Protonated alcohol is taken. The protonated alcohol acts as electrophile. Protonated alcohol acts as electrophile. Here, how that acts as electrophile, we will see RCH2OH. If you are taking in this RCH2OH, first H plus if it is added, then lone pair present on this and this plus is added on this, so you will get RCH2OH2 plus and having a lone pair. This is called as a protonated alcohol. This is known as protonated alcohol. The protonated alcohol will act as electrophile. And suppose I am taking this X minus for example, and here it is CH2 OH2 plus, and here I am writing R. Okay, the same I am writing here. This is a electrophile here, and here this is X minus means it has a lone pair, so it is nucleophile. Now this nucleophile attacks on this place, and then this pair of electrons are shifting onto this. So we are getting R, and here it is CH2, and here it is X, and this is removed as H2O. So this is reactions due to CO bond dissociation. Here CO bond dissociation occurred or not. We can check it. Here this bond is CO bond. No, this is CO bond. The CO bond dissociation occurred, and so this is reactions due to CO bond cleavage. And protonated alcohol acts as electrophile in this process. And mainly these reactions, reactivity order, if you are taking tertiary alcohols greater than secondary, greater than primary, greater than methyl alcohol. That is the reactivity order. Generally, in OH bond dissociation reactions, what we said, methyl alcohol greater than primary, greater than secondary, greater than tertiary. But in this CO bond dissociation required, this is the order of reactivity of alcohols. Tertiary alcohols more reactive than secondary, which is more reactive than primary, more reactive than methyl alcohol. Okay. And in this we will see the first type of reactions. First reaction, that is reaction with HX. Here in the reaction with HX, reactivity order if you are taking, the reactivity order of HX, order of HX, if you are taking, this is HF less than HCl less than HBr less than HI. So which forms a nucleophile easily? HI. Okay. And in this reaction, suppose if you are taking an alcohol, suppose this is alcohol and it is reacting with HX in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, anhydrous ZnCl2, and then it is forming RCH2 X plus H2O. This is the reaction. So this HX, we can use HCl or HBr or we can use HI. Okay, the HCl and concentrated HCl and anhydrous zinc chloride mixture is called as Lucas reagent, and we will give later about that Lucas reagent. And here generally if you are taking a primary alcohol, If you are taking a primary alcohol, they undergoes to SN2 reactions. If you are using secondary alcohols, they either undergoes to SN1 or SN2 reactions. If you are using tertiary alcohol, they undergoes to generally SN1 reactions. So, basing on the alcohol used, the reaction occurs, and the remaining products, remaining conditions also required. Generally, primary alcohols if present, they undergoes to SN2 reactions. And in this process, suppose SN1 reactivity and SN2 reactions, if you are taking SN1 mechanism, how it occurs? It is a tertiary alcohol I am taking. This tertiary alcohol, first what happens means from HX, it is taking the proton. And here, this is having two lone pairs. By the attack of proton, what is formed? R3COH2 plus, and here having two lone pair. And then it is releasing this bond, so it is shifting. So what is formed here is R3C plus. It is a carbocation. So a carbocation formation occur. And after the carbocation formation occurring, the X minus will attacks, and this is giving R3CX. Basing on it is a chiral carbon. If you are taking chiral carbon atom, then we will get racemic mixture. Okay, this is SN1 mechanism. This is first step carbocation formation. Next it is forming tertiary alkyl halide. And next, suppose if it is SN2 mechanism, if it is undergoing to SN2 mechanism. If it is SN2 mechanism, a primary alcohol is required, RCH2OH. Again here also H plus is attacking on this oxygen because it contains lone pair, and then it is forming RCH2OH2 plus. Same step like this, and after that the X minus will attacks in the back side. So here this is attacking on this, then this pair of electrons are shifting onto the oxygen. So we are getting RCH2 X plus H2O is released. So this is directly alkyl halide, and this is formed by a transition state. By a transition state only occurs, no reaction intermediate or carbocation formation occur. That is SN1, SN2 mechanism for alcohols on reaction with HX in the presence of a Lewis acid. Okay. In this reaction, we are taking hydrogen halide along with anhydrous zinc chloride, which is called as a Lucas reagent. So this reaction is also used as a test for alcohols, identification test of alcohols. Here, alcohols reacts with Lucas reagent gives different precipitates. For example, we are taking Lucas test. This is called as Lucas test. Here, Lucas test means what? Concentrated HCl and anhydrous zinc chloride mixture is reacting, that is called as Lucas reagent. Suppose any alcohol I am taking, suppose this is RCH2OH and this is HCl in the presence of anhydrous ZnCl2. This is called as Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent. And then it is forming RCH2Cl plus H2O. So actually this alkyl halide is formed as a precipitate. Okay, and in this process if you are taking tertiary alcohols, here tertiary alcohols reacts with Lucas reagent, immediately, please remember, immediately forms precipitate, forms white PPT, white precipitate of alkyl halide is formed. Whereas if we are taking secondary alcohols, secondary alcohols when we are taking with Lucas reagent after few minutes. After few minutes. After few minutes, white precipitate is formed. Generally, few minutes means 5 minutes it will takes. And primary alcohols, if you are taking, generally primary alcohols with the Lucas reagent, no precipitate at room temperature. RT. RT means room temperature. No precipitate formation occurs at room temperature. Only precipitation occurs at high temperatures and after some time, minimum half an hour. After half an hour only, but at high temperatures only. The reaction will not occur with the Lucas reagent at room temperature for primary alcohols. Okay, so even tertiary alcohols, if you are taking, remember, without anhydrous zinc chloride also, directly it can convert into alkyl halide without the Lewis acid also. Okay, this is an important distinguished test. Lucas reagent test or Lucas test, which distinguish primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols. So tertiary alcohols gives white turbidity, precipitate or turbidity, both are same, white turbidity or precipitate immediately. Whereas secondary alcohols gives after few minutes or 5 minutes. Tertiary alcohols, primary alcohols, secondary alcohols are giving, but primary alcohols at room temperature, no precipitation, but at high temperatures, we are having precipitate formation. Okay, that is Lucas test or Lucas reagent test. Next, reaction with PCl3 and PCl5 and SOCl2. Somewhere you are thinking like we studied already these reactions, no? Yes, we studied in the alkyl halides preparation methods. So suppose if you are taking first one RCH2OH, a primary alcohol with the PCl3 if you are taking, then three molecules of alcohol reacts to give RCH2Cl plus H3PO3. Or we can take PBr3 here. Instead of PBr3, they can use phosphorus and bromine mixture also. We said, and we can use PI3 also. Or instead of phosphorus and iodine mixture also we can use. Okay, so this reaction occurs and gives the alkyl halide. And moreover, important reaction is this is SN2 mechanism reaction. And similarly, here RCH2OH with PCl5. Okay, PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride, reacts to give RCH2Cl plus POCl3 plus HCl. Phosphorus oxychloride and HCl mixture is formed. And next one is RCH2OH plus SOCl2. In these two conditions we said, one is SOCl2 without any pyridine or any base, and SOCl2 in the presence of pyridine. Please check once again the videos of alkyl halide preparation method. In this I gave clearly. Here if it is SOCl2 without pyridine, that is called as SN2 reaction. If it is SOCl2 with pyridine, it is called as a SN, sorry, it is SNI reaction and this is SN2 reaction. Okay, and it is forming finally RCH2, sorry, RCH2Cl, RCH2Cl plus SO2 plus HCl. Here also you will get same, but here what is the difference between these two means? In the presence of pyridine, we will get inversion product. In the absence of pyridine, we will get retention product. That is the difference. Here if chiral carbon is taken, we will get retention product. Retention product is the main product. If chiral carbon is taken in the presence of pyridine, we will get inversion product. So this retention and inversion case only occurs if you have chiral carbon atom. If you are not having chiral carbon, like it is normal carbon, optically inactive carbon, no retention or no inversion. Okay, if only we are taking a chiral carbon atom containing alcohol, then only there is a chance for inversion and retention. If it is only without pyridine, it is SNI reaction. Here this is also SN2 reaction and this is SNI reaction and here it is SN2 reaction. Okay, please remember that. All these reactions are reactions due to CO bond dissociation. And the next one, very important one, that is dehydration. Dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration of alcohols. Here for the dehydration of alcohols, main reagent we are using is H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4 bar delta. Another reagent we are using is concentrated H3PO4 bar delta, or we can use Al2O3, Al2O3 bar delta. There is some other reagents also, BF3 we can use, ZnCl2 also we can use, but differently. Mainly these three reagents we are using for the dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration of alcohols means simply it is an elimination reaction. Elimination reaction, please remember, it is an elimination process. Rehydration means removal of water. Water removal means elimination only. Okay, and in this dehydration of alcohols, suppose we are taking CH3, CH2, OH. We are taking this ethyl alcohol at 110 degrees Celsius in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. We are getting CH3, CH2, HSO4. Means in the sulfuric acid we are having H and HSO4 minus, H plus and HSO4 minus for example, and then we can remove like this. Then what we are getting? Ethyl hydrogen sulfate or ethyl bisulfate. Okay, and next, if you are taking at 140 degrees Celsius same concentrated sulfuric acid, then we are getting CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. That is called as the diethyl ether. This is known as diethyl ether plus H2O. How this is formed? See here, ethyl alcohol CH3, CH2, OH, another ethyl alcohol CH3, CH2, OH. Here this is OH and H is removed, then minus H2O, The remaining is one ethyl group O and another ethyl group. That is a diethyl ether. So ethers are formed. The same reaction with same ethyl alcohol, suppose here CH3, CH2, OH at 170 degrees Celsius in the same concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 presence, it is giving CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2. Here also plus H2. Always water is removed. Here what is formed? It is called as ethane. Ethane or ethylene. So at different temperatures we are getting different reagents, different products. So with sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid at 110 degrees Celsius, 100 to 110 degrees Celsius, it gives ethyl hydrogen sulfate. This is called as ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate or bisulfate. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate. Same ethyl alcohol at 140 degrees Celsius it is giving diethyl ether. But same ethyl alcohol at 170 degrees Celsius it gives ethane. Okay. In this reaction, one more reagent we can use, but at different temperatures. Here, instead of concentrated sulfuric acid and concentrated 140 degrees Celsius, I am taking another reagent. Please see R 250 degrees Celsius temperature and Al2O3 is taken. Aluminum, not for the first reaction. Okay, for second reaction I am taking. Instead of 140 degrees and concentrated sulfuric acid, I am taking 250 degrees Celsius and alumina. So in the presence of Al2O3, aluminum trioxide, we need 250 degrees Celsius temperature to get the same product diethyl ether. And in this here, instead of this sulfuric acid and 170 degrees Celsius, we can use 350 degrees Celsius and Al2O3. 350 degrees Celsius and Al2O3. So same ethyl alcohol will give ethylene. So please remember, it depends upon the reagent taken. Temperature difference is there. Definitely we have a difference in temperature. So first reaction is common, no alumina reaction, and here ethyl alcohol reacts with sulfuric acid, or ethyl alcohol undergoes to dehydration with concentrated sulfuric acid at 140 degrees Celsius, or in the presence of Al2O3 at 250 degrees Celsius. Al2O3 at 250 degrees Celsius gives diethyl ether. Same ethyl alcohol undergoes to dehydration in the presence of sulfuric acid at 170 degrees Celsius, or Al2O3 at 350 degrees Celsius gives ethane. Okay. All these are primary alcohols. First, please remember, all these are primary alcohols. See these three reactions. In this first one is a primary alcohol, and this is a secondary alcohol, and this is a tertiary alcohol. You can identify easily a primary carbon bonded OH group, primary alcohol. It is secondary alcohol, it is tertiary alcohol. See the conditions required for different alcohols. First, for primary alcohol, how much temperature is required? 170. And what is the reagent? Sulfuric acid. It is also 95%. So 95% sulfuric acid at 170 degrees Celsius is required to get the alkene or dehydration process. And secondary alcohol is requiring. Here OH group is eliminated, and from this or this any one is taken because both are same. One hydrogen is removed and OH group H is removed, so you will get alkene. So secondary alcohols at what temperature? 100 degrees Celsius. Primary alcohols 170. 95% required. Here how much? 75% only. Means secondary alcohol at 100 degrees Celsius and 75% H2SO4 can undergo dehydration to give the alkene. or even we can use 85% H3PO4 and 170 degrees Celsius for this process. Whenever you choose for tertiary alcohols, in the tertiary alcohols 50%, 50 degrees Celsius and 5% H2SO4 is enough. See here 95%, here 75, here 5% is enough. Means what? Tertiary alcohols are more reactive than secondary alcohols are more reactive than primary alcohols towards dehydration process. So order of reactivity we already first informed and I wrote that see order of reactivity towards dehydration also tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. That is the rate of dehydration or order of reactivity of different alcohols towards dehydration process. So tertiary alcohols are giving isobutane. Common name I am telling. IUPAC you can easily write. This is isobutane. This is propane. This is IUPAC name only. Propane. And that is ethylene or ethane. Okay. So please remember primary alcohols at high temperature and high concentration of sulfuric acid. Secondary alcohols at low concentration and low temperature. Tertiary alcohols at very low concentration and very low temperatures. Undergoes to dehydration easily to form corresponding alkenes. That is simply indicating the rate of reactivity or order of reactivity of different alcohols. Tertiary alcohols are undergoing to dehydration more readily than secondary and more readily than primary. Next, dehydration of alcohols mechanism we have. It is important for your board point of view also. Mechanism of dehydration of alcohols. It has three steps. First one is protonation. Protonation. Here protonation means I am taking ethyl alcohol CH3, CH2 and it is OH. Here it is having two lone pairs and in this protonation process what happens first proton is added. The concentrated sulfuric acid we are taking now that sulfuric acid will provide a proton. That proton is added to this. This is called as protonation process. The protonation means we are getting protonated alcohol OH2 plus and lone pair is present. That is called as protonated alcohol. Second step is formation of carbocation. Formation of carbocation. Carbocation formation. Here in the formation of carbocation, CH3, CH2, OH2 plus and here lone pair is present. In the next step what happens means simply this pair of electrons are taken up by this and so this carbon get positive charge. So here it is CH3, CH2 plus and H2O that is formed. What is this? It is a carbocation. Carbocation formation occur in the second step. And third step means deprotonation. Deprotonation means removal of proton. So deprotonation, here in the first step we got the carbocation, second step. In second step CH3, CH2 plus is formed and from this one hydrogen is eliminated. So CH3 is present now. I am writing the CH3. So the same molecule I am writing CH2H and CH2 plus I am writing and this pair of electrons shifts onto this and so it is removed as H plus and we are getting CH2 double bond CH2 plus H plus. Alkene is formed finally. This is the three-step mechanism: protonation, formation of carbocation, deprotonation process. Okay. So in these reactions, carbocation formation is occurring, so there is a chance for rearrangement reactions. Please check the reaction based on the given alcohol. if there is any chance of carbocation formed and it is having more stable adjacent carbon or higher degree carbon, they undergoes to rearrangement to give more stable carbene, more stable alkene. So the reactivity also depends upon the stability of alkene formed and stability of carbocations. Okay. It is a dehydration process. Concentrated sulfuric acid delta is taken. What are the products A, B, C? So you please try to write, otherwise tomorrow I'll give.